Listen carefully. This message is not random. You didn't click on this video by accident. Something inside you needed to hear this right now, and whether you believe it or not, this moment was already written for you. Before you scroll away or ignore this, ask yourself one question. What if this is the message that changes everything for you? Stay with me, just for a moment, because what you're about to hear is more important than anything distracting your mind right now. This is not noise. This is not coincidence. This is a call directly to your heart. My beloved child, I am speaking to you from the deepest place of love, and you are more important to me than you realize. I need your full attention, not half of it, not while you're thinking about something else. Just pause, breathe, and listen. These words are meant specifically for you. Yes, you. The one who feels tired, overwhelmed, and maybe even a little lost. I see everything you're carrying, even the things you never say out loud. The weight on your chest, the thoughts that keep you awake at night, the silent battles you fight every day. None of it is hidden from me. Come closer, not physically, but with your heart. Let me take away, even if just for a moment, the heaviness that has been sitting inside you. That sadness, that pressure, that constant noise in your mind. You don't have to carry it alone anymore. I am here, right now, offering you something the world cannot give you: real peace. Not temporary comfort, not distractions, but a deep calm that reaches your soul. Trust me with your heart. You don't need to hold back anymore. You don't need to pretend you're strong all the time. I have always kept my promises, and I don't speak without purpose. Every word I'm giving you right now carries meaning, carries direction, carries life. I want to lift you up from where you are, to remind you that joy is still possible for you, not just in theory, but in reality. I want you to wake up again with a reason to smile, not because everything is perfect, but because you know you are not alone. You are deeply loved, more than you can understand with your mind. But I don't want you to just know it. I want you to feel it, to experience it, to live in it. You may feel like you've been forgotten, like you've been fighting on your own, but that is not the truth. I have never left you, not once. Even in your lowest moments, even when you felt abandoned, I was there, and I am still here. You are safe in my hands, protected in ways you don't even notice. So place your trust in me completely, not partially, not only when things go wrong, but fully. My arms are open to you, always have been, always will be. When you wake up each day, I hear you. Every thought, every whisper, every prayer, you are not speaking into emptiness. I listen, I care, and when you call out, especially for the people you love, it matters deeply. But don't lose yourself in worries that don't deserve your energy. When life feels confusing, when problems surround you, don't run in every direction searching for answers. Come to me. I am your way forward. And right now I need you to stay here, because what comes next, you cannot afford to miss. You have been carrying too much for too long, and deep inside you already know it. The stress, the uncertainty, the silent fears you never share with anyone, they don't make you weak, but they are not meant to control your life either. I am telling you this because I see what you cannot always explain. I see the moments when your mind feels overloaded, when your thoughts start running in every direction, and when your heart quietly asks, how much longer can I keep going like this? But listen carefully. You were never meant to be trapped by anxiety or held down by fear. These things may visit your mind, but they are not your identity. You are not your worries. You are not your mistakes. You are not the weight you are currently carrying. You are something far greater than all of that combined. And yet, I know life has tried to convince you otherwise. It has made you question your strength, your path, even your worth. But I am here to remind you of what has never changed about you. You are still held, still guided, still protected, even in the moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. I have not removed myself from your story. I have not stepped away. Even when you felt like you were standing alone, you were not. I was there in the background of every moment you thought you wouldn't make it through. And somehow, you did. That alone is proof that you are still being carried forward, even when you don't understand how. So I ask you now, not with pressure but with love, don't let fear become the voice that leads your decisions. Don't let doubt rewrite your future. You have been given more strength than you realize, but it is hidden under layers of worry and exhaustion. And today is the moment to start removing those layers, one by one, not all at once. Just begin. I do not want your mind to stay stuck in cycles of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. Those thoughts will drain you before anything even happens. Instead, learn to pause, even in chaos, and remember that not everything you fear is meant for you. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every situation deserves your panic. You have to choose where your energy goes, because your peace depends on it. There are moments when life will feel overwhelming, yes. Moments when answers don't come quickly, when doors don't open on your timeline, when silence feels heavy. But silence is not absence. Delay is not denial. And struggle is not rejection. Sometimes, what feels like being stuck is actually preparation happening in ways you cannot yet see. And I need you to understand something deeply important. You are not forgotten in those waiting seasons. You are being shaped, even when you feel still. You are being guided, even when you feel confused. You are being protected, even when you don't see danger coming. Nothing in your life is random, not even this moment right now. So stop measuring your life only by what is missing. Start noticing what is still holding you together. The strength you used to survive yesterday is still inside you today, and it will be there tomorrow as well. You are not starting from zero, you are continuing from everything you've already survived. But I need you to stay with me, because what you're about to hear next will challenge the way you think about your life, your struggles, and your future. And it is something you cannot afford to ignore. You may not always realize it, but every struggle you've faced has carried a purpose far deeper than what you could see in the moment. When things fell apart, when people disappointed you, when plans failed without warning, it all felt meaningless at the time. But nothing in your life has been without direction. Even the pain that confused you was shaping something within you that comfort alone could never build. There were moments when you thought you were reaching the end of your strength. Times when you questioned your future, your choices, even your ability to keep going. But look closely. You are still here, still standing, still moving forward, even if slowly. And that alone tells a story that your mind often forgets to acknowledge. You have already survived situations that once felt impossible. And yet, here you are. I need you to understand something clearly. Your life is not defined by the setbacks you experienced. It is defined by how you continued despite them. You may carry memories that feel heavy, mistakes you wish you could undo, or words you wish you had never heard. But none of that has the power to erase what lies ahead of you. Your future is not locked by your past. It is still open, still unfolding, still waiting for you to step into it with courage instead of fear. There is a reason you are being reminded of this now, because somewhere along the way, you may have started believing that your story is limited, that your best days are behind you, or that change is no longer possible. But that belief is not truth, it is exhaustion speaking. Life has a way of making people forget their own strength when they are overwhelmed for too long. That is why you are being reminded right now. You are not done. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. Even your delays have meaning. Even your detours are not wasted. Sometimes what looks like loss is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like delay is actually alignment happening in silence. You may not see the full picture yet, but that does not mean nothing is happening. Growth often happens in places where applause is absent and where understanding is not immediate. And I know there are questions you carry that remain unanswered. Why certain things happened, why certain people left, why certain doors closed so suddenly. But not every answer comes in the moment you want it. Some answers only become clear when you are strong enough to understand them without breaking again. So instead of focusing only on what you lost, start noticing what remains. Your ability to rise again. Your ability to hope again. Your ability to try again, even after disappointment. That is not weakness, that is resilience, even if you don't call it that yet. And I need you to hold on to this truth as you move forward. Your story is still being written, not by fear, not by pain, but by something far greater than your current situation. You are not at the end of anything, you are in the middle of something that is still unfolding. But what comes next is even more important. because it will challenge the way you see your struggles and your purpose in a way you cannot ignore. There is something you must understand about the battles you face. They are not meant to destroy you, even when they feel overwhelming. Many times, what feels like pressure is actually shaping you into someone stronger than you were before. Life does not always explain itself clearly in the moment, and that is why confusion often follows pain. But confusion is not the final word over your life. You may have noticed that some of your deepest lessons came from your hardest days. The moments you thought you wouldn't recover from somehow became the moments that changed you the most. That is not coincidence. That is development happening in silence. Even when you felt weak, even when you questioned everything, something inside you refused to give up completely, and that part of you matters more than you realize. I know there are times when you feel unseen, like your efforts are unnoticed and your struggles are invisible to the world around you. But being unseen does not mean being unsupported. There are things happening beyond your awareness, doors being prepared, paths being aligned, and situations slowly shifting in ways you cannot yet detect. What feels delayed is not denied, it is forming. Do not let discouragement become a permanent voice in your mind. It will try to convince you that nothing is changing, that your efforts are wasted, or that your situation will always remain the same. But that voice is not truth. It is pressure speaking, and pressure always feels louder right before a breakthrough. You were never meant to live in a constant state of fear or emotional exhaustion. You were meant to grow, to rebuild, and to rise even after setbacks. But growth does not always feel comfortable. Sometimes it requires letting go of thoughts that no longer serve you, and replacing them with something steadier, something stronger. And I need you to recognize this clearly. Your thoughts are powerful. What you repeatedly tell yourself begins to shape how you see your life. If your mind stays focused only on problems, everything will feel like a problem. But when you begin to shift your focus, even slightly, you start to notice that not everything is falling apart. Some things are actually holding together. There will be moments when you feel like stopping, moments when motivation disappears, and moments when silence feels heavier than answers. But even in those moments, you are still moving forward in ways you do not fully see. Progress is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, internal, and slow, but it is still progress. And I want you to remember something very important. You are not competing with anyone else's timeline. Your journey is not meant to look like someone else's. Comparing your life to others will only distort your perception of your own growth. What matters is that you keep going, even if slowly, even if unsure, even if quietly. Because what is coming next is not just encouragement. It is a shift in how you see your identity, your strength, and the direction of your life. And once you understand it, you will not be able to look at your situation the same way again. Now I need you to listen more closely than ever before, because this is the point where everything starts to come together. All the pain you've carried, all the moments you felt unsure, all the nights you questioned yourself, none of it was wasted. It all led you here, to this exact moment where you are being reminded that your life still holds direction, meaning, and a future that has not been closed. You are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by what still remains inside you after everything tried to pull you down. And what remains is stronger than you think. The fact that you are still trying, still hoping, still listening right now proves that something inside you refuses to give up. That part of you is not small. It is powerful, even if it feels quiet. There will always be voices outside and inside that try to make you doubt your path. They will remind you of your past, your failures, your delays, your mistakes. But none of those things have the final say over your future. Your story is not finished, and it is not controlled by what has already happened. It is shaped by what you choose next. And what you choose next matters more than you realize. You can stay trapped in fear, or you can begin to slowly step out of it. You can keep replaying what went wrong, or you can start noticing what is still possible. You can remain stuck in old thinking, or you can allow yourself to see that change is still within reach. Even now, you are not alone in this process. You are being guided through what feels uncertain. Not everything will make sense immediately, but clarity often comes after patience, not before it. That is why rushing forward without understanding can leave you more confused, but moving forward with trust can slowly rebuild what feels broken. There is something important you must hold on to as you leave this moment. Your life is still open. Your future is still unfolding. And what feels like a closed door today may not be the final chapter at all. Sometimes life pauses you, not to end your path, but to prepare you for a direction you did not expect. So do not give up in the middle of your becoming. Do not let temporary emotions convince you of permanent conclusions. You are still in motion, even when it feels like nothing is happening. And every step you take forward, no matter how small, still counts. And now, as you reach the end of this message, I want you to carry this with you. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. And you are not without purpose. Your life still has direction, even if you cannot see the full map yet. Now I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself one final question before you leave this video. Will you keep carrying fear? Or will you finally choose to trust the path ahead of you?